Dear viewers, today's topic quail farming for eggs and meat. As you know that this quail, which is known as Coturnix japonica, it is a zoological name of a quail, and this variety of this quail is a Japanese quail. So, I will mainly focus on quail farming for both the purpose, whether it is a eggs or meat. And this lesson will deal about difference between chickens and quails, that is quails vis-a-vis chickens, what are the regions for quail farming, common quail varieties of quails developed by Central Avian Research Institute, Hajat Nagar, Bareilly, which is a nerve center for producing improved varieties of Japanese quails through a continuous R&D programs running through different research projects, then rearing of quails in cages and inputs requirement if you are interested to have quail farm, and lastly I will summarize the whole lesson. Then learning outcome, you will gather information on benefits and purpose of quail farming. You will identify different breeds of quails and to know about various quail farms, that is also one of the outcomes, and to study management tips of quail farming. So, these in almost in 4 major areas where you can get the outcomes of learning of this lesson. Now, this is a Japanese quail, zoologically known as a Coturnix japonica, is reared in India for eggs and meat production. And if you see, the one very interesting point of a reproduction or reproductive behavior, you can say that females are always heavier than the males. I think this unique feature of quail you will not be getting in any other domesticated species, maybe chickens, maybe ducks, maybe turkeys, emu, pheasant, guinea fowls, ostriches. Always you will find males are heavier than the females. But in case of a Japanese quails, you should understand, you should keep in mind that females are always larger, are always heavier than their counterparts males. So, if you check it for body weight of the female one, it is 150 to 180 gram. This is the adult weight I am speaking. Whereas in the case of the male, which are relatively smaller than the females. So, in picture you can see the left quail is a female and the right quail is the male, and the body weight of the male has been reported ranging between 120 to 150 grams of each. But no doubt males as well as females both are reared for both purposes, whether of the egg as well as for the meat. Now, you can very well question then whether the male quail will lay egg. My answer is no. Male will never lay egg. Eggs will be received only from female side. But if you are interested to propagate, to multiply your stock, where you have to take the day old baby quails, in that course mating a female with the male is very much required. So, that is why I have spoken that whether males or females both are being reared in Japanese quail farming system. Now, how you will differentiate quails if anyone asks you that how you will differentiate quails from chickens. On body size, quails are very small compared to chicks, whereas adults weighing about 10% of the adult chickens. 10% of adult chicken means that is called, suppose if adult hen weighs 1.5 kg. So, here in the case of the quails it will coming just 150 grams. So, mind it is always considered that 10% in body size is smaller than the chicken's body size when you are comparing. Then quails do not have combs and wattles on their heads. Unlike chickens, the quails can fly. So, that is the reason that we used to keep them in the captivity system of farming, which is called also known as a intensive system. So, you cannot keep them in a free range, otherwise they may fly. So, that is why the quails, wherein in a chicken you can go for a free range system or a scavenging system, then semi-intensive system, intensive system, but normally in case of quails only intensive system may be on floor or in the cages, but preferably on the cages. That is the way. Quails get sexually matured by 6th week of age, but when you compare in case of hens, it will about 6 months. So, 20 to 22 weeks of age or even sometimes very late. So, just by making as a 6th week of age as well as 6 months. So, this means quail hens will start lay after 6th week of age, whereas chicken hens will start lay after 6 months of age. Now, if you feed consumption or feed intake, if you compare vis-a-vis with the chicken and hen, so here the quails eat 20 to 25 grams, whereas adult hens they may consume 100 to 120 gram of feed. So, this is also you are seeing a wide difference, maybe on the body size, one of the factor, and species variations are there, but these are the you can say the major differences from chickens. Now, what are the reasons for quail farming? So, quail rearing in India is an alternate to chicken and duck species. Primarily poultry farming means chicken farming, maybe for meat production, that is called a broiler farming, or for egg production, that is called layer farming. But besides this chicken and duck, so this quail farming is also an alternate like turkey or guinea fowl or geese farming. So, whatever may be, even emu farming. So, these all are the alternate species to chicken and duck. So, similarly, the quails are also one of the alternate species for farming purposes, and they require comparatively less floor, number of feeders because and the water space required in comparison to chickens and ducks, and the capital requirement no doubt that would also be comparatively on a lesser side, and these quails do not require a specially designed house, whereas quail layers mature in about 6 weeks and in full production by about 7 weeks of age. You will find this a full production means 40 to 60% when the quail hens start laying, or you are going to get, suppose you are keeping 100 layers in a farm. So, if you are getting 50 eggs per day, this means 50% production has reached. So, that is why 50 to 60% a full production, and the prolific layers, this means 3 to 4 generations per year and lay 260 eggs in first year of lay. Meat type quails, that is called also known as a quail broiler, ready for the market as table birds at 5th week of age. So, even in the chicken broiler, they also attain the marketable age at the age of 6 to 7 weeks or even the 8 weeks of age. So, here that is the meat type birds, particularly meat type quails, at this age of the 5 weeks you can sell them for the meat purpose. The adult hen will eat 20 to 25 grams feed per day and lay egg of 10 to 12 gram in weight. So, egg size is also very smaller. So, on weight basis, if you compare with the chicken egg, that is a 50 grams. So, 5 quail eggs are equivalent to 1 chicken egg, you can say. But if you compare with the duck eggs, where the 60 to 70 eggs, so you can say, so 6 to 7 eggs of quails, they are equivalent to 1. If you compare with the turkey eggs, where the egg weight size goes to 70 to 100 grams, so there now you can calculate that what would be the ratio of, if you compare with the egg weight itself. One very interesting point in the quail farming, that if you compare in disease resistance, you will find these quails are very hardy birds and they are more resistant to diseases than the chickens. And that is the reason that they do not normally require any vaccination or the deworming. Whereas in case of broiler or layers, you will find a complete vaccination package, complete vaccination program, and regular deworming is very much required in case of poultry farm dealing with the chickens and other species. But in case of the quails, the disease resistance is a very more, that is the reason that they never require any vaccination schedule or deworming schedule. It is a very useful activity among weaker sections of the rural population. So, again the quail farming can be taken up as a full time or a part time agri business to get animal protein product in the form of eggs or the meat, and it provides a steady income, and no doubt it will also solve rural unemployment like other poultry species when you are farming them. Rearing of quails, in most of the cases the quails are reared in intensive system either on the floor or in the cages, as the quails, unlike chickens, can fly, and then rearing in free range system is not practically possible. Now, there are many types of quails like the Chinese quail, rain quail, Italian quail, but not all are domesticated. Here my main intention is to cover only quail breeds or the quail varieties whatever you can kill, because most of the quails come under Wildlife Protection Act. That is one of the, you can say, the limiting factors for rearing of quails very frequently, very openly throughout the country. So, the institute who are dealing with the quail breeding or quail rearing or quail production activities, they are always trying to take the Japanese quails free from Wildlife Protection Act, so that you can advocate, you can convince the farmers to take quail farmings for production of eggs as well as meat. So, only the Japanese quails and the bob white quails are allowed to be reared under captivity. Distribution of quail farming with growing consumer awareness and appreciation for quail's tender and tasty meat quality has been reported. Many commercial quail farms for egg and meat production have been established in different parts of the country, but mainly you can say large commercial farms of the Japanese quails you can find out in southern states like Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, even in Kerala, and Andhra, Telangana. So, but nowadays the scenario has been changed. So, many commercial enterprises, they are coming forward to start quail farming on a large scale to produce quail eggs as well as quail meats. Coming to the main center, which has contributed significantly for production, then reproduction, nutritious feeds and feeding, genetic improvement. So, Central Avian Research Institute, which is coming under ICR, that is Indian Council of Agricultural Research. So, the CRI has been a nerve center for introduction of quail from abroad way back in 1974. So, it has been learnt that under UNDP program, few dozen eggs of the Japanese quails Coturnus japonica had been imported from California under R&D program, bilateral program, and since then the scientists specializing in different areas, maybe geneticist, management specialist, nutritionist, technologist, food technologist, or even the disease side, they all join their hands to do more R&D program and try to develop different varieties as well as to propagate number of Japanese quails. So, this and ultimate main aim of that end product, so that the end product can go to the farms, to go to the fields where the farmers can opt it out quail farming. Now, egg type Kari Pearl, which is a white egger, it has been developed by CRI. Its body weight 140 gram at 5th week, and they consume 20 to 25 grams. And age at 50% production, it is 8 weeks. As I told initially that they attain sexual maturity at the age of 6 weeks. This means 50% production within 2 months, that is 8 weeks, whereas 80% of the production, it is just 10 weeks. So, hen day production has been observed in case of a egg type Kari Pearl, that is a 285 to 295 eggs per year. So, this is Kari Sunehri, this is a brown feather white breasted, it is a 5th week, it is giving 182 gram of the body weight. This is straight run. Straight run means males and females have been clubbed together or have been considered both. There is no sexing of the chicks have been done. So, age at sexual maturity, it is just 43 days, and feed conversion ratio at the 5th week, it has been observed 2.8, and average egg weight is 11 gram, and 50% egg production 8 weeks is the time, and peak egg production is 12 to 13 grams. Now, this is the Kari Brown, which is called a brown feathered quail. Its body weight at 5th week of age 180 to 185 gram, and age at sexual maturity, you will be noticing that this is 38 to 41 days, and hatchability on total egg set, it is a 60 to 65%, and plumage color, which is called a completely brown in case of this one. Now, Kari Sweta, it is a white feathered quail. So, the body weight at 5th week, it is a 155 to 165 grams, and they may take 25 grams of daily feed intake, and feed conversion ratio, it is coming at 2.7. This means by consuming 2.7 kg feed, they may give 1 kg of the meat. Hatchability on total egg set, it is coming 50 to 60%. Now, Kari Ujjwal, it is white breasted quail, body weight is 175 gram, and 5th week feed conversion is 2.80, and daily feed intake, they may consume 25 to 28 grams, while hatchability on total egg set, it is coming 65%. or so. Now meat type Kari Uttam, which is also known as a quail broiler, and here you see one is small relatively and one bigger. So, bigger is always female here, not male, mind it. So, body weight 5th weeks 240 grams and daily feed intake 25 to 28 grams. So, and feed efficiency is 2.6 and hatchability on total egg set is 70 to 75. Now, the Quail Eggs, you see this is the filler flat where you are finding that different eggs of the quails. So, they have the mosaic pattern, are highly mottled dark colors of different sets and shapes on the cell. Egg weight at of 10 to 12 gram each, and it is smaller about say 20% or even you can say so 10 to 20% maximum of the chicken egg. The Quail Chicks in battery brooders, because here you are seeing that a battery brooders of the 4 or 5 tired, it is a 5 tired and providing electric bulb heating system where the water inside, feeder inside, it is made from the galvanized wire where you can rear the baby chicks up to the desired age. So, this is a Quail Chicks in the battery brooders. Hatching of day old Quail Chicks, you are see there are these are the fertile or hatching eggs have been kept in the egg tray, putting in the setters, incubating them up to the 15 days of age period, and in during 18th day or 19th day you will be getting day old chicks of the baby quails. Now, the quail layers in the cages, as I told, that on floors you can rear them, no doubt, but rearing in cages that will be much more comfortable, much ideal for rearing of Japanese quails is a small, whether individual cage or a community cage where you can rear 8 to 10 quails in one cage, or even in single cage you can keep one quail or even 2 quail if you are putting a mating plan or breeding quail farm. So, in that case. Now, if you are interested to initiate quail farming, you have to get the finance, land, electricity, water, building in houses, chicks, brooders, cages, feeders, waters, feeds, medicines, vaccines. Vaccines you can say very well that there is no set program of the vaccination of Japanese quails, but in some cases if there is a threat of in that case as a prophylactic measure some vaccines suitable for chicken or the broiler or the layers that may be used, but not very frequently. Transportation of the raw materials, skilled and unskilled manpower, and scientific knowledge on quail rearing is very much required, and security no doubt of the birds as well as for staff, and there should be storehouses. Feeding and management, incubation period is as I told that it is 18 days. Colony or community cages measuring 25 centimeter wide and 15 centimeter in depth and height will house 3 quail layers. Now, the starter, it is coming in the case of a quails, it is 0 to 3 weeks, whereas in case of the chicken it is coming 0 to 8 weeks, and growers here it is a 4 and 5th week. There in case of chicken layer or egg type it is a 9th to 20th week, and layers 6 weeks and above, whereas in case of chicken it is 6 months and above. So, ready-made quail rations are now available in the market, or alternatively with the help of a nutritionist or poultry experts You can formulate, you can prepare the quail rations right at your farm, but a regular feed analysis of farm made quail rations should be in mind. Now, while summarizing the whole lesson, as the quails are reared for hatching eggs, day-old chicks, table eggs and meat purposes, no doubt. Several improved varieties of Japanese quails have been developed by ICR, CRI, which is known as Central Avian Research Institute. Many commercial quail farms have been established throughout the country, both for egg and meat production. I hope by getting the sufficient info or informations given by me that will help you to opt quail farming for production of eggs as well as meat in your choice. Thank you for listening, viewing of this lesson. Thanks.